A man who lost motivation and purpose must confront his habits, fears and distractions to build discipline, find meaning and create life worth chasing. This was the sentence I wrote when I first started thinking about this video. And I want to tell you a story from my life, from my experiences, that will most likely be very similar to your life. Even though every single one of us experience life completely differently, we go through different periods in our lives. We go through different challenges in our lives. Deep down, the lessons, the things we truly experience are the exact same thing. I'm not a native speaker, English is not my first language, but I'm gonna do my best to come out as naturally, as authentically as possible. So, the story. Not so long ago, I found myself demotivated, scrolling, just going with the flow of the life, wasting a lot of time. That was the time where I decided it was time for a change, that things needed to play out differently in my life. I looked into the mirror and I was like, if I continue living like this for the next 5 years, I'm gonna regret my life choices, my decisions in my life. Super excited, super motivated. I grabbed a piece of paper and started writing down all the things I want to achieve, all the things I want from my life. I started writing all those good habits, reading, meditation, exercising. I even created like a super pretty habit tracker so I can track and note that I did the habit that day. As the week go, I successfully managed to mark all those windows. 10 of those habits or something like that was there. I did that for a couple of days. I was on point, everything was on point. I was sleeping well, reading well, exercising, doing all those great habits. And suddenly one day came and I was able to mark out maybe 1 square of those 10 habits. 1 square. You hear me right, hear me correctly. The motivation faded. I was there just thinking, how did I make a choice I didn't really want to continue, or just, I didn't felt very productive. I felt bad, So I thought to myself, okay, maybe it was a bad day, right? The next day I was able to complete maybe 2 of those squares and fall back into those habits again. Scrolling, unmotivated. It took maybe a week till I completely, scratched the idea and started thinking about something else. You might be saying that, it was the lack of my discipline. I was not strong enough, or it was the lack of the motivation. The truth is, it might have been both. I may have just made choices. I was feeling very positively, very happy, very motivated, and resulted in me not being able to fulfill them when life got hard, right? As I come to realize later, looking back at my life experiences, was that neither the motivation, neither the discipline, neither showing up every single day were the most important aspects of me bettering myself later on in my life. And that's exactly what I want to talk about in today's video. Many of us go through life with this very shallow living in our life. What I mean by that is, you go through your day, you do all those great things, even the positive habits, even the good habits, you do them, but you don't truly understand the reason behind your actions. You don't really know why you keep doing that. You don't really feel any benefit from that. Right, you have a lot of energy because you exercise, you sleep better, or you don't do any of those whatsoever and you just do what you thought, go to school, get good grades, whatever, have fun, go out with friends, whatever, all these things, right? Very shallow. It doesn't really have anything, there's not anything special about you. You get nothing going on in your life, nothing that would differ you from other people. And there are periods in my life where I find myself in those shoes as well, where I wake up and I just feel super unfulfilled, super unpurposeful, that I have no clue what I want to be doing right now. And it's not like I'm completely out of place, I have no idea what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do. It's just you are not in balance with yourself. You have this calling inside you, but you haven't found it yet. You haven't fully immersed yourself into that. Because it's not about motivation, it's not about discipline, it's not about being consistent. It's about finding what's special about you, what your purpose in this life is going to be. And I had, interesting experiences with this lately, especially lately, which I thought I already, figured it out for myself. But as it turns out, it doesn't always work like that. Because you have these periods where you feel super accomplished, super purposeful, that you see your goal and you just follow the line, go for the thing. You are excited to wake up every single morning. You are excited to go to bed so you can wake up the next morning. Or you don't sleep well because you think about this stuff so much. I suppose it was a combination of things in my situation because, being 19, finishing at high school, not having any stable income at this age, and just being thrown out and being in the position where I sort of have to find myself and have to find what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna survive, how I'm gonna move out, and all these things, which is a very challenging period, I suppose. I kind of lost the direction, let's just say. But it ultimately came back. It ultimately came back to me, and it keeps coming back every single time I made a choice. I made a shift in my direction, that I want to help people and help people grow, find their purpose, find their calling in their lives, find their motivation, how to, be disciplined, be more focused on what matters, how to change your life to better. But screw that, you go through life, you experience different things, and if you don't want to feel like you living very shallow life, experiencing very shallow life, and you want to feel excited to wake up, excited to fulfill all those habits, those good habits that I was not able to sustain more than a week before I found my purpose, before I found my calling. It really comes down to searching for what's in it for you, what's in this life for you, what's the thing that you can provide to other people that will make you feel fulfilled. And this is what it is for me, making videos and talking from my own experiences and trying to help younger versions of me to figure out stuff that I was able to figure out. Because as I said, it's not about the motivation, it's not about the discipline. It's about saying who you are and what you do and staying true to yourself. So when the opportunity arrives, you will be able to say yes to those habits, to those things. You will be able to, I kid you not, wake up hard in the morning, ready to conquer the world. Because you will have a crystal clear idea of what's here to come for you. What I'm trying to say here is listen to what's here for you, what options you have, and don't be static the whole time, because as long as you see some stuff that is happening, some stuff that you might be interested in, just go grab it and hold it tight and try to experience it. You might find out that it's not for you and let it go and you just grab something else. It's okay to not have the right thing. As long as you keep trying, as long as you are not stuck trying to do stuff and end up not doing anything because you just figure that it's not for you, right? So with the purpose comes the discipline, with the discipline comes the motivation, and with the motivation and discipline and purpose comes the results you are trying to chase. This was my story, my perspective on purpose and how it changed my life and how it made me want to chase my life more, how it made me want to wake up every single morning and learn more, experience more, and go through the next day seeing what that has to offer and enjoy every single opportunity I get. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, consider hitting a subscribe. It means the world to me. It helps me a lot, and I made over 200 videos on this channel, so you might find for yourself something you will enjoy, you want to watch. So it was a pleasure talking to you, and I will see you in the next one.